Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of What's Happening with Carolina Chuck. Today we're going to talk about what's happening in Clover, South Carolina. And if you haven't done it yet, please like and subscribe wherever you're listening. It'd mean the freaking world to me. Today we're going to talk to now former city councilwoman, get her passions and opinions on things, Mrs. Brittany Farr.
Grabbed me by the shirt and said, if she wants some more, and I said, and this she is swinging my hands, singing and dancing, saying you the man. And this she was, now I got her hooked, asking about the hotel.
On to your butt.
You know what you need is some of that hysterical respect. Know what I mean?
We ain't one at a time in here. We're mass communicating. Oh yeah, that's a powerful new force. Take it in, Junior.
The whole idea now is I just applied for an LLC. I want to get sponsorships and stuff because I'd really like to be, the whole idea now is I'd like to grow this to like York County size. You know, start in Clover and just grow it by talking to just interesting people or whatever, you know, people with things going on, events, just doing it all, trying to kick out like 2 a week. And I figured I could start right here in Clover, do the LLC, get me a couple sponsorships with like some of these people that can't really afford to do radio and TV stuff. Like I'm a fraction of that. And I'm going to be targeting, you know, their customer base, people in Clover and the surrounding areas. Like I think it would make sense to do a little sponsorship with me, but you know. So, you're in the news this week.
I'm in the news.
Yeah.
This week, last week.
Well,
I feel like it was like, I don't know, that whole day was really weird because I woke up really early, had my prayer time, and I really prayed over what I was about to post and that it would be received, you know, with understanding. Like, believe me, there is nothing salacious about Brittany Farr. Like, I'm the most boring human being ever. I read, I garden, I make sourdough bread, and I'm with my kids. Like, that's the extent of it.
Yeah.
And then, so I posted it, and then I don't know what the world decided it was going to do, but then all of a sudden the internet went down.
Oh, yeah.
So AT&T, like a line was cut
Right.
or something. And it just, I was like, oh, shoot, I broke the internet. I broke it. Not really. I don't think that highly of myself. But it just was like, what do I do now? I just posted like this huge thing.
Yes.
And now
Yeah.
I can't even respond. When people say something or send me a message, I couldn't get texts or calls to go out.
I'm freaking out about that when I was here. I was trying to get out freaking phone calls. I was like, what? I was like, I just paid my phone bill. What the heck is going on? And then one time they had these towers down or something, and they had me put it in airplane mode. But that's incredible. So the night before, you knew you was going to post it. What was that like?
Fine. I mean, when I tell you that there's literally nothing salacious about it, it is true. I was completely fine once I got out of my own way and just made the decision because I had this like internal struggle for months.
Right.
Like, not that I couldn't do the job or, you know, there was nothing about that side of things. It just got to be too much time and energy away from my kids. And I would go so deep into research.
Yeah.
Do you need to stop?
No, that's rain.
God.
Look at that.
I think we've gotten like 10 inches of rain today.
I know. Somebody came in here earlier and told me it was flooded. I'll just turn the mics up real quick.
Yeah, I figured you might need to. Well, that was quick.
It was quick. All right, so
it just got to be to where the amount of energy that I would put into researching every single thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't just you know, I'm just making these little snap decisions. I was reading everything I could read. And then taking that and, you know,
And
expanding upon it and seeing how other things tie into how that vote could affect other things. And so I just got to the point where, like, when my kids started getting on my nerves, I knew I had to put stuff down.
yeah.
And I prayed about it and I prayed about it. And I even told Jake, we went to the beach the second week in July.
How's Jake doing, by the way? I
Good.
haven't seen that dude in so freaking long.
He's good. He's just same guy you probably remember.
Yeah.
He's just easy. I mean, he don't really get flustered about much, which is good because I get flustered about everything.
That's
so he's
good.
like my counterbalance.
That's awesome. Yeah, I ain't seen that dude in a hot minute. Dude, I myself have been gone from Clover. Like when I left in 2004, I went to Lake Wiley, which is right down the road. But
Right.
I never came back this way because I was working in Charlotte. We headed to Charlotte and did that. I was there for forever. And then we went to North Carolina to Catawba because I was working around Lake Norman. And then we were there for 3 or 4 years. And I went to New York for 3 years. So I've been gone for like 20 years. But I've been keeping up with my folks still live here, and
Yeah.
my brother still lives here, and all my friends. But yeah, so it's been crazy to kind of keep up online what was going on down here. I saw that you were stepping out front and getting opinionated about things, and I was like, what's going on, And then I saw you were like city council, like, wow, that's crazy. And at the same time, I'm up there doing podcasts with city councilman in Watertown. I was like, man, I got to get down there and do this for the home team,
Yeah.
So it took me a while to kind of like, all right, I'm gonna get back in, because it's consistency with the podcast and things. 'Cause
Yeah.
if you don't stay consistent, you don't,
Fizzles.
you lose out on momentum, like viewerships and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so.
Well, I had told him, I said, I really need to talk about this. Like when we were on vacation, he just looks at me and because we were sitting on the beach, watching the kids play. And I just looked at him because it still was festering. And, like it took me so long to decompress from my trip. Like I didn't decompress till like 3 days before we left. And then it was time to come home. It was because I was still in this like.
But what a freaking place to make a decision, though, on vacation.
I actually didn't. It wasn't there.
Oh, really?
No, I looked at him and said, I really need to like work this out and talk about it. And he just looks at me and he's like, what's there to talk about? You already know what you're going to do.
Yeah.
Because he knows me. But he also knows that I'm going to sit there and chew on it and chew on it and chew on it and stick it in my hair. And until like God really just had to step in and be like, I need you to move.
Yeah.
I just need you to move. I mean, it came down to the point where I even reached out to a childhood pastor because I told him, I was like, I'm so conflicted. I'm so conflicted in doing what's right for the people who put me in that position. But I'm also on this like spiritual journey and, getting stronger in my faith. And I can't reconcile these two worlds together anymore.
Right. You need to be on your own, kind of more. You're growing, I guess you would say.
Yeah. I mean, not to say that, well, I just want to count the experience of all of it as part of that journey.
Right.
But I've told people who have reached out to me, God brought me to it.
Mm-hmm.
He carried me through it, but he also pulled me away from it because there was a lot there that I needed to see and understand and learn, specifically on a local level, because I don't think people really understand the power structures between the different levels of government. But
I don't.
So the municipalities, the towns and cities, they're bound by counties. That's bound by state. And then you got federal crap to deal with too.
Right.
So when you really boil it down to the local level,
there's not much you can do, it seems like.
no, not unless you stand up
Yeah.
to those higher authorities. And I just don't see very many people in any small towns willing to do that.
Yeah.
And I mean, I did a lot in Clover, but I've done way more. It's just like I put in that letter, you know. I don't talk about that stuff too openly because I don't want to look like I'm self-seeking.
Right.
But I did those things to make an impact for everyone. It doesn't matter what your race, creed, gender, religion, it doesn't matter, because if people could put those little boxes aside and realize we're all humans,
Yeah.
then, you know, things could be so much simpler. I mean, we were given the 10 Commandments and couldn't get that right. And then the Constitution, and we couldn't get that right. And those are two very small documents.
Right.
And you look at a city ordinance book and it's this damn thick. I mean, city.
Wow. So what inspired you? Like, what was the main thing that you were like, I'm going to go in there and I want to change this. Like, I want to affect this in a direction.
I don't necessarily feel like there was things that I wanted to go in and change, because
Or protect.
yeah, there was things I wanted to protect, absolutely. But mostly, and this is why I get called crazy all the time, is I just see things differently, and I read between the lines. And when global things start creeping into your small community, it's just kind of like, whoa, what is happening?
Okay.
You know, just little small things, they're nuanced. Most people
me an
don't even pay
example.
attention. Well, for example, when it was the International Property Maintenance Code was adopted, I was like vehemently against that, because that document, I want to tell you, was over 200 pages, and I think I read through it and looked at it line by line at least twice. And I'm just sitting here highlighting. I'm talking like I literally lose sleep over this stuff. Like,
That's rough.
I don't want to just be like rubber stamp,
Right.
seal of approval. No. It's like, I mean, you sat there and watched me read that.
Yeah. I was kind of interested. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to just sign my name to
I
anything.
just got that off at FC this morning.
Form letter.
Yeah, $4.
You know, there was so many things in it that just, I was like, you know, all real property
Okay.
all real property is, and this was just like a mechanism or a tool, is the way it's always sold to you. It's a tool. It's for everyone's safety, and people will do whatever you say for safety.
Like the whole COVID thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy.
God, that's really when I started being like, pump the brakes. Pump the brakes. But, you know, it had to do with, it's another layer of telling people what they can and cannot do.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, if we're willing to do this, what's next?
Okay.
I really pushed a lot of buttons when I made a personal post on my own thing, my own profile on Facebook about flock cameras.
Flock what?
Flock cameras.
Flock cameras. Mm-hmm. What is that?
They're these tag reading car identifiers that are a private company selling them out to police departments and law enforcement agencies and this, that, and the other. But you have to have your own flock cameras in order to access their databases. So essentially, like, in a way, it's profiling vehicles.
Okay. Oh, okay.
So that's assuming it doesn't read a tag or something, but they can put in all kinds of information on those things to identify, down to like, there's a dent on this side. So if this reader sees that car, it's going to notify the closest.
What does the reader
department.
look like? Like, what is that?
There's all kinds of different ones. I already kind of tucked it out of my mind a little bit, but they go up on poles.
Okay.
And they'll be at like state lines or they're like a way more invasive.
It's like the eagle eye thing.
Yeah, dude. It's like,
Right.
yeah, 5 eyes.
Wow.
You know, but so I made the argument after piles of reading,
Okay.
of course, that it's a violation of our personal rights, Fourth Amendment specifically. But I just it made a stink. It made a big stink. People commented on it that probably shouldn't have, and wondered why I didn't say anything in that workshop at the time. I was like, well, I already squashed this from it being put in the budget the year before.
They're in Clover?
Not yet, but they were approved in the budget. So, TikTok.
Interesting.
TikTok. There's one on 321, but that one belongs to the county. And I think there's one at Parham Road, and I know there's one on Buster Boyd Bridge. But see, this is the thing. Everyone's like, well, if that saved a child's life from being kidnapped, then it's worth it. And I'm like, you want to sell everybody's freedoms. And I understand you don't have a reasonable amount of privacy in public. But if I'm in my car, I consider that to be private.
Private, right.
But, and you'll hear all kinds of arguments. When this comes out, people are going to be like all pissed off all over again. I don't care. I don't care. Like, because I was like, for a 10% solve rate.
10% solve
10% solve rate.
So now these are going to like the county or highway patrolman, or where's the cameras going to?
I guess they're going to put them on our force.
No, I mean, like, where are they streaming to? Like, you said something about they
supposedly only a certain amount of people in a department have access to them, but there have been cases where officers have used them for stalking and other nefarious things. And if you have them, you access their entire database. So
you can see everywhere.
Mm-hmm. Huh. And, everyone's like, oh, well, there's only going to be one officer that can access it, yada, yada, yada. And this isn't specific here. This is just everywhere.
Everywhere, right.
But it's, I don't know. I just believe I would never vote for anything that I wouldn't want to have to live under.
Right. And that's tough.
It is.
That's a tough position to have to vote for.
And, like I was against the historic preservation thing, because I don't believe if someone buys a building or a house or whatever, that they should be told what to do or not do there. It was like basically saying, oh, we don't have enough restrictions. Let's go ahead and add an HOA to our town.
Dang.
So, like, I was against that too.
So
people didn't like it because they're like, oh, you're against growth. And I'm not against growth. I'm against legislating every aspect of people's lives. Because at what point is it like totalitarianism?
Right. Oh.
I mean, other than like, getting your head cut off or saying something against somebody that may or may not have been true. But
the whole thing with the shots and stuff kind of opened up a lot of people's eyes to what was going on, because I was like, I don't even go to the doctor. I'm not getting shots. I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, that's
me either.
And to go into places, I just won't go. Whatever. It's weird.
If COVID proved nothing, it just proved how idiot things can get.
Yeah.
I mean, they put bubbles on the floor so you had to go a certain direction. I did not do that. I was going up and down all the aisles any way
Yeah.
I wanted to. I would not wear a mask, and if they tried to make me, I was like, well, I guess you're not getting my money today.
Right.
You know, like, I don't need anything
Yeah,
that bad.
I was kind of, I wasn't like I'm a little bit of a rebel, but I'd have it around my chin and wait for somebody to say, tell me to put it on, then I'd put it on just because. But I wasn't like,
Oh,
I
no.
didn't wear it all the time. Like when they said put it on, I put it on. I had it on my chin.
I think I did that like 2 times. I was like, screw this.
Yeah.
Like,
And dude, I went to New York and holy crap, that place that was a different experience. Like New York, the place I was at was really cool. Like it was 6 hours from the city. I didn't know that culture existed up there. So that was a neat experience. And they weren't all about the mask stuff, but like the government was. They were
Oh,
like,
yeah. I
like
followed
mask
along.
mandate, and yeah, it was pretty crazy.
I mean, that's really kind of how I got started in really pushing back on things.
Yeah.
Was on the school level. Like, people are like, oh, you should run for school board. And I was like, psh, screw that. I'm pulling my kids out.
Right.
And then at the same time decided I was going to run for town council. And I was like, did I just have a stroke? Like, what is happening?
So what inspired that? Like right off the rip, you're like, all right, this is what I can. Were you working or anything during?
Yeah, this is, and I owned a salon,
Mm-hmm.
my own salon before COVID.
Okay.
That totally was a God thing too. I ended up with 3 kids under 5 during that whole thing. And I was doing a rebranding I bought a salon that was existing,
Okay.
got screwed by the former owner. And then I rebranded, and it was doing good. I was making money, but it's another one of those things. Like, it was just like, no matter where I was, I didn't feel present. I was always thinking about where I wasn't.
Right.
So if I was at the salon, I was thinking about my kids. And if I was at home, I was thinking about the salon, and then little things that, because, nobody cares about your business the way you do.
Right.
And to try and put trust in people to handle things while you're not there is really, really, like, that's hard to do. And so when I would get these calls, for dumb stuff, they're like, we're out of trash bags. Do a drawer entry and run down to the Dollar General and get some trash bags. Like, why are you calling me about this? For God's sakes.
Listen, my only experience, like, this is pretty much my own business, but it's just me and my wife. I was a manager at a stair company before, and like, I'd have the smartest guys, the best, most capable guys in a position to like run a truck, because I was running a couple of trucks.
Mm-hmm.
And they would call me with a problem. And I'm like, dude, don't call me with a problem. Call me with a solution and ask my permission to do it or something. You know what I mean? Like, you know what to do. We've been doing this for years. And so I kind of get it. It was like small little things. And they would just say, this is a problem. I'm like, well, what do you do to fix it? Well, I guess I could shim it or something. I was like, all right, let's do that,
Yeah.
So,
Like, just mundane things. I'll be like, if I get one more call like this today, I'm going to throw my phone like into oncoming traffic because I can't take it anymore. But I ended up, it just was like more than I wanted to do.
right.
I learned a lot,
Okay.
and I learned what I didn't want. But so I just closed it up. I didn't try to like sell it or anything
Really?
like that. Yeah, I mean, I didn't own the building, so
Okay.
I'm telling you, I went. Jake and I had like a absolute breakdown one night, and I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. And he was like, okay, we're done. And so I just was like, 30 days. I want it done in 30 days.
Dang.
And we went the next day to the landlord, told him, we really needed to just put our lives back together with our children. And he was like, I get it.
Where was
He's
this
like,
at? Right here?
downtown Gastonia.
Downtown Gastonia. Oh, downtown Gastonia.
Yeah,
The cool town, right?
it's better now.
Well, better now.
Yeah.
Part. Yeah, okay. All right.
But yeah, so he got it. He let us out of our lease. And then I helped all of my employees find jobs. And 30 days later, done.
Wow.
Sold off all the furniture that I could. We just rented a storage unit right here at Pack Rat. And tucked it all in there. But then I went to work part-time. I rented a room at a salon. That was my favorite place I've ever worked. Ever.
Where was that?
Sugar Salon and Spa. It's right near the Shield Museum in that business park.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Beside the library. The owner there worked at a place in Belmont that I had worked for several years. And she had ventured out, got her new place going. And so when I started working with her, like, she really helped me heal from all that.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out, Kim, if you ever see this. And I love her to death. Like, she would ask me questions, and we just kind of bounce ideas off of each other. But I was like, "You in the driver's seat, honey. I'm just paying you rent." But it was great. But I actually left my career and retired 3 months ago today.
So wait. When you left, what was that? When was that?
May 11th was my last day.
You just said I'm done with hair.
I don't do hair. I did skin.
Oh.
So facials, waxing, all that
Oh.
stuff. Yeah. 15 years. I walked away from it.
Dang.
Because I initially thought that if I walked away from that it would make things a little bit easier and I'd just slide one thing off my plate.
Mm-hmm.
Turns out it just wasn't quite enough.
Dang.
Yeah.
And how old were your kids then?
My oldest is going to be a teenager next month.
Wow.
He will be 13. My daughter just turned 10 on August 2nd.
Happy birthday.
And my youngest little guy, he will be 8 in October. So they stair step. Yep.
Oh, yeah. So I've got a 20-year-old.
I know.
And then I've got a about to be 16-year-old, a 13-year-old, and an 8-year-old.
Heavens.
I got 3 girls and then my boy.
Oh, heavens.
Yeah.
I bet he's all boy, too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. This kid's awesome. Like, it went from my girls were being, like, they were my homies, you know. We were fishing, all kinds of stuff. Now they're teenagers, and I barely even get to talk to them. But now my dude, though, oh, man, anything I want to do, anything, like, I like, he likes it. I like what he likes now.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite thing he says is, like, he'll say something. He's like, right, Dad? I'm like, yeah, right. He goes, everything he says, he'll say, whatever. Right, Dad? I'm like, yeah, that's it.
so sweet.
But, yeah, so what inspired the town, the government stuff? Like, because I went back and looked at some of your Facebook stuff. There's a lot of Trump stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
So was that around about the time when you got inspired?
He was part of it, but it ultimately came down to a podcaster.
Really?
Yeah. I found this woman. I don't even know how I found her. Actually, I think it was on Telegram. Are you familiar with that app?
I did have it. Yes, kind of. Yeah.
It's kind of like chat rooms.
Yeah,
and different channels.
The boxing gym I was in, they were posting their sparring videos to it, and that's the only experience I had with it. But
it was weird. It took me a while to figure out how it works, and now I could do it in my sleep. So her name is Tori Morris, and her podcast and all of her channels is Tori Says. TORESAYS.
Okay.
She's got a website and all these things, but she's basically former intelligence community. Actually worked under John Brennan.
John Brennan.
John Brennan, the head of the CIA.
Oh, yeah. I was like, I know
Not
that
anymore,
sounds
thank
familiar.
God.
Okay.
He's a devil.
Right.
But when I came across her and I started listening to her, and there was like this whole community around it. And so I started reading through her post, and then I went to her website and I started reading all these articles that she has. And it's just like, she's a whistleblower.
Oh, okay.
And her thing, you know, she always says like, I don't exist. Like, it's like was a spook. You know?
Okay.
So she helped with rigging elections in Ukraine. And when she saw that the plan was for that to happen in America, she was like, oh, hell no.
Oh, wow.
And there's a whole affidavit with everything she knew about how it was done, where it was being done, primarily through the election machines.
Is she still active right now?
Oh,
Okay.
yes, sir.
Let's check this out.
Yes, sir. I can send you some of her stuff. But so I got really active in, you know, there's different state groups. Every state has a group. Even some of the Commonwealth countries and even other countries, they have their own little groups too, because they listen to her and they're trying to implement, you know, the things that she's worked on for America in their countries. And I just went like right down that rabbit hole, all the way down that rabbit hole. And I was helping with all this research, and the amount of research and things that have been discovered purely on election fraud would blow your damn mind. And it makes people uncomfortable because those two sides, it's just flipping a coin.
Right.
You know, the Democrats did it. The like hanging Chad days in the early 2000s. And it's just, so they sit there and they want to point fingers at each other, but they're both doing the same stuff.
Did you see something like that made you kind of lose
Not
faith in what you were
locally.
doing?
I just knew, like, when the results started rolling in for 2020, I sat there when we had literally just moved into our new house right here in Clover. And I sat there and was like, they called it for Roy Cooper in North Carolina. And I keep up with North Carolina stuff too, because I worked there. I was a taxpayer. So I kept up with things going on there too. But when they called it for Cooper, like after all the crap that they did to North Carolina with the mandates and stuff, I was like, there is no damn way that man just won governor again. There's no way. There's no way. And I just sat there in my living room, spooning my big old Labrador, crying because I was like, it's over. Watch it. Watch something happen. And then everything flipped overnight while we were sleeping. So I went through that. And Tori, I'll go back to her. So that she was the reason that I felt inspired to run. Like, she was like, take over your city councils, take over your school boards. This stuff has to end, and it has to end now. She's like, we've got to fix the machines, but we've got to try to get good people in there first.
Right.
And I never stopped trying, even while I was on council. Better yet, I was sworn in immediately because I was filling a seat. And then, so that was in November of 2021. And in January, my friend called me, and she was like, I'm doing a pro se lawsuit. I was like, on what? She's like, we're going to go after this state. We're going to challenge the elections in this state. And I was like, oh, hell yeah, let's go. So we did our lawsuit, pro se, no lawyers. We did all the research. We wrote it and filed it in York County first.
Yeah.
And then because we were suing the governor and the South Carolina Election Commission, a whole bunch of mumbo jumbo happened in York County, and so they were like, because of who you're suing, this needs to be heard in Richland County. So we had to refile everything. Took 9 months for us to get a roster hearing. 9 months. And then we went to that roster hearing. It ended up turning into a motion hearing like 2 hours later, and I had a council meeting that night.
Oh,
I
wow.
was freaking out because nobody knew where I was. I didn't tell anybody. I was like, because
Yeah, I'm
I
going
told
to sue the
her.
governor.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll be
how do
back.
you tell that?
I'm running late.
How do you tell people that? So I did it, and I even told my friend. She's like, "You don't have to if you don't want to. I know you just started your council stuff." And I was like, "You know what? I don't care. I don't care if this affects me in this seat now. I don't care if it affects me being reelected. This is bigger. This is bigger, and
Yeah.
this is for everybody in this state, not just for Clover,
Right.
not just for me. It's for everybody." And so, man, oh God, that was the scariest day of my life. Like,
So
seriously.
what happened?
So we had like 3 hours to kill. So we went and got some food.
Mm-hmm.
Then we went to the Richland County Library because we needed a place that we could spread out all our stuff and strategize in 2 hours.
And who was all with you? Who was your team there?
So there was me and 6 other people, all of us in York County. And we all had met through listening to Tori.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Dang.
Yeah, it's wild how things just kind of pull people together.
Yeah.
But so I'm in the middle of like making an argument,
Mm-hmm.
and I should have been looking at the judge, but I was so pissed off at the attorneys for the election commission because they thought they had us.
Mm-hmm.
They thought they bested us. And I am just sitting there and I start looking at them as if I'm talking to them. Or the bailiff starts coming in on me.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I froze. And the judge looks at me. This judge also was like Clifton Newton, the Murdaugh trial
Oh, wow.
judge. His daughter
Oh, wow.
was our judge. So he starts coming in on me. And I'm just like, shaking, just shaking. And so the judge was like, just keep addressing me. Just don't look at them. And I could feel my eyes welling up with tears. And I was trying to will it away.
Yeah.
Well, I blinked and my contact fell out on my
Oh,
paper.
no.
I was like, are you freaking kidding me? So
Disaster.
I recovered, but I couldn't wait to get out of that courtroom. And then like
Shot back up here?
a week, yeah. I mean, I told Tracy, I was like, I need you to haul ass back to Clover. And I made it back with time to change. I had my packet with me just in case.
Mm-hmm.
But I made it back from Columbia with 30 minutes to spare.
Wow.
Dude, it was crazy. Anyways, McMaster ended up getting dismissed, of course. And they, what's the word? I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on this word, but anyways, it fizzled out, and they basically told us that we didn't have standing, which is the same thing that they did to President Trump. So if the freaking president doesn't have standing to challenge election fraud, how do the people?
Does, right?
Who does? Exactly. That's the $1 million question.
Hmm.
And the machines they weren't certified. They're supposed to be certified. The HAVA Act. That's a pipe dream. It's all disguised to make it look nice and safe and all the things, but you can't verify how your ballot was cast. Once it goes in that black box, that tabulator, they can do whatever they want with it.
Man, that's crazy. And there's a lot of people talking about that. And, I've never been, because I've always felt like, I mean, I'm probably wrong, but I always felt like no matter what, we're paying taxes to the same people. Like you were saying earlier, it's just a flip of the coin. I was like, really? So I never really thought about getting involved until like recently. I started seeing things, and I'm like, I don't know. It's just, I'm starting to follow it a little better.
And that's a good thing. I think that's probably one of my biggest grievances with the time that I was on council is there's so many keyboard warriors. There's so many, but none of them show up to those meetings. They don't come tell me it to my face or put it on the record.
Yeah.
So we can sit here and complain and bitch online, but
Yeah.
when it really comes down to doing the hard
That's
stuff,
showing up, yeah, putting in the
they
work.
won't do it. And then when you are someone who is doing all the things and researching and reading, and when you get lumped into they, ooh, nothing burns me up more. Nothing burns me up more. I take huge offense to that because I'm like, they, nothing. Look how I voted. There it is in the minutes.
It's weird that I'm taking it you're not Democrat at all. That on the opposite side, I had a conversation with this guy in New York, and he was Democrat all the way. He was a city councilman for Watertown. The weird thing is both of y'all seem super passionate, and his was obviously a little different direction, but he would sit there, they would rush him, he would sit there and read pages and pages, and they're like, and it was just, he seemed like a, I never really was like, Democrats are cool or whatever, but he seemed pretty cool. I mean, I took away a little different perspective on how he was approaching things, and that's why I was like, I like talking to city councilmen. You know what I mean? They know some things outside of the little normal citizen thing, but they're still right there.
Well, we're the ones we literally are closest to the people.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, yeah, you got your House reps and your state senators or whatever.
But that's not.
But that's not close enough. Their
Right.
districts are huge. And then, so we should be the ones sending them letters,
Right.
stomping up the state house steps, being like, this is what our people want.
Right. Because, I mean, y'all are right.
I mean,
here
I
in the
would print out a
community.
whole bunch of letters for you that I've sent on these things, but and I get canned responses and form letters back, and you know, even as someone who was in an elected position,
Yeah.
I couldn't.
So when you got elected,
But I don't do this with them.
rubbing elbows, yeah.
I'd rather chew glass.
So you got elected, but you said it was filling a seat though. So how did you run against someone?
No, he had vacated his seat because he moved out of city limits.
Oh,
So,
dang.
yeah. So when I decided to run, I was like, let me just wet my feet with the 2-year thing.
Yeah.
And then run again if I want to.
Yeah. And this is 4 years, right? So you did,
Almost. Like if I would have made it to November, the end of this year, it would have been 4 years. Yeah.
Now,
So there's 2 years left on my term, technically.
So you left at this specific time because I was trying to read the thing. That way there's no interruption or something.
I was trying to avoid costing taxpayers a special election because we have to pay for these.
Right.
The county handles it, but the taxpayers are paying for these things. And those damn machines come with a hefty price tag to steal your vote.
That's awesome.
Sorry, not sorry. But so that was my intention was to let it go as easily and as stressless as possible. Like I didn't want to cost taxpayers money, because they're the ones that put me in that position, and so that was like the only thing I really, really was adamant about. And then, so I sent my letter on the 29th of August. Come to find out, that was the last day I could have done that to have the election included with the general election. Now, you tell me that ain't God, because I couldn't have planned that out if I wanted to.
Wow.
After sweating it, crying, praying, all the things, I was like, I woke up that Sunday morning and I read Proverbs 31. Because when I had spoken to the pastor, he had encouraged me to read Proverbs of the day. Well, after I had spoken with him, that day didn't work. So I was like, let me just rest. Let me just shh my mind. And then I came back to it. And I opened it up on the, no, I didn't open it up. Actually, I saw a TikTok that was talking about Proverbs
Really?
31. And then I went and read the full verse, and I was like, holy crap. And I was like, that's it. I'm out.
After the pastor said something about it, dude, I am telling you, like, you know when you would say something and your phone would listen to you?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's getting to where I'm thinking something, and then like just me, a personal thought, I open up my phone, and there it is. And I'm like,
That's a real thing.
weird, right? And then it happened 2 more times, like consecutively. And I'm like, that's coming out of my head. Like, I never vocalized it, never do anything. I'm just thinking about a certain thing, and then boom, there it is. I'm like, I don't know what that is. That's getting kind of weird.
That's
Like,
probably
really specific thing.
another podcast day we could maybe go into
Right,
those
right,
crazies.
right.
Because it's not so crazy. It's just woo. But yeah, so I got like my confirmation in scripture, because the pastor told me that his mentor one time said to him, it's like sitting on a block of ice. If you're melting it, you're where you need to be. But if it's not melting, you're just freezing your butt off. So then he asked me, he's like, are you melting or are you freezing your butt off? And I was like, I am not melting anything. Everything feels cold and immovable. And he said, you know, the Bible is very clear. We can only slow things down, but we can't stop it. And I was like, well, then maybe I've done my part. Maybe I've done everything I could. I've said all the things that I could say. I've read all the things I can read, and I've learned a lot. I learned a whole lot about stuff. But I think my direction now needs to be at home, because my one desire out of my life was to be a mom. And I'm estranged from mine, so it's one of those things like I don't want that space between us to where we can't grow together, learn together, love together, and forgive. I don't want my children to resent me. I don't want them to look back one day and be like, well, your nose was always in the papers or in your phone or this, that, and the other.
Dang, yeah, I get that. I get that big time, because you know I pull some hours, and then you know,
They're only little for a while.
Yeah. It's rough.
And so I mean, when I like everything, like my resignation letter flowed out of me in minutes. The announcement flowed out of me. I wrote it while I was getting my hair cut.
Really? I've been using ChatGPT for stuff. I'm kidding.
For
I
some
read it. I
stuff,
was like, that's
if
pretty good. If I would have wrote that, it would have been AI all day.
I mean, look, AI is a weird thing. Like,
it is. I'm
it's
letting it
scary.
do this art stuff, and it's terrible.
It's scary as hell.
Yeah.
But like for certain things, I do utilize it. Like, I mean, it's a tool. But like people that are going on there and like, tell me about myself and acting like it's a friend and stuff. I'm like, stop! You're making it sentient.
Yeah, that's kind of weird. People like, you know, they dive into how deep AI can go and everything, and
It's only as good as its programmers.
right. But I'm thinking, you know, it could be a really, really, really good thing instead of people were like, oh, they're gonna kill all the humans. or whatever.
Skynet.
Yeah. And I'm thinking, I was like, I don't know. I mean, it could be like really possibly, I don't know, but could be the best thing. You know, maybe we wouldn't all have to work. Maybe we could just do whatever we want all day and have AI take care of stuff or whatever. I don't know.
Man, that would be so boring, though. Can you think about how lackadaisical skills would become?
Yeah, but think about.
I mean,
If it
don't
was-
get me wrong. I would love to like.
Think about if it was cool though. What if it was just the best possible situation it could be? where you didn't have to work. All this money just came to you. You could do whatever you want. And like, I don't know. I mean, it could be awesome. It
Yeah.
could be. I don't know. It could be. I don't know. So
We'll figure out one way or another, I guess.
We ain't got much longer. We're gonna get Skynet for sure. So check this out. I did a podcast with a guy in New York. They called him Flat Earth Donnie. now he goes to the city council meetings.
I think I listened to that
Yeah,
episode.
he goes to the city council meetings and gets it. Like he's gonna listen to this and gets his ass arrested all the time because he's telling city council they need to stop covering up the flat Earth. It is incredibly hilarious.
The
he
city
got
council.
yeah. I mean,
Like, really?
yeah, he's kind of crazy, but he's smart.
Look, there's
I think he's awesome. He took down. I mean, this is crazy too. The town put up the gay flag on in June or whatever, and he took it down. They locked him up, but like some people he's a hero, some people he's a villain. But he sat here and explained to me and blew me away with his whole flat Earth thing. And I was like, what the heck made you think that? He said, somebody was telling him about it. He went home and YouTubed it, and it came up. It was biblical. He said when they started putting the biblical stuff in there, and that part,
it's set on a foundation and the firmament.
Yeah, that part kind of stuck with me. I'm like, I am totally on the fence. Like, not, I'm not a believer, but I'm interested. You know what I mean? But
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Like,
I don't want you to go too deep into it.
no,
'cause
I don't have that much. I actually have a different thought.
That's fine.
I actually think we're more shaped as a Taurus, and just what we can see is a level plane and what we're allowed to be in. So if you think about energy, it's infinity. It recycles itself. So it would kind of lend credence to flat, donut, and hollow earth theories. Not so much heliocentric, but I don't know. I'm just open.
Yeah. Did that come from?
I just don't think we're on a freaking ball flying around the sun. A million miles. No.
Right. Did that come from Tori?
I kind of stumbled upon it before she talked about it.
Oh, okay.
So she has talked about it.
Interesting.
You have to really pay attention to her shows because she drops so much information. You're just like there goes my brains into the windshield.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not just casual listening for sure.
Yeah, you gotta sit down with a paper and pen.
It's a university. We call it Torrey University.
Really?
Yeah. But
so where did you first develop these opinions really quick on the flat Earth or the
just
reading. Non-globe?
Just reading, being interested, just wanting to be open to not everything that I learned was all the truth.
Right.
I think that there's mostly lies and some truth thrown in there to kind of make us all confused and crazy and fighting each other. So I'm just open to information. And I think if you are not open to information and you're so dead set in your whatever belief, it doesn't, pick a box. Like I said,
Right.
Everybody's in a box.
Right.
Some of us are in multiple boxes and we just can't get out. But I think, you might as well just be a NPC.
Yeah.
Like if you can't have an original thought and you're just going along with what everybody says just so you don't ruffle a feather, that's boring.
Yeah, and that's what I like about this, because sometimes I'll have somebody like the guy I was talking about, a full liberal Democrat, and I'm like, oh man, what are we gonna do here? And I get something of value. Like I learned something. I open my mind to what he's talking about, and and all kinds of other situations
Yeah.
too. Like, I mean, you know, and that's what's cool about podcasting, because you actually get I cut my phone off for an hour and
Yeah.
we sit here and have a conversation.
It's real face
yeah,
to
and
face.
you get some real information. You know what I mean? But yeah, we're gonna close this up because I gotta edit all this. But I appreciate you coming on and hanging out with me and answering a few questions. We're gonna try to get the audio out by the morning, and the video will be a couple of days, and I'm gonna keep this thing rolling. Like, I think I got the mayor coming on. So we're gonna talk about,
Oh, Bo's coming in?
yeah, we're gonna talk
That
about,
should be fun.
talk about some road
Late night on a
stuff, whatever
vacay,
it
it's beat, so I'm heading to the room.
goes.
And Nelly playing in the background, now the boys to give it till 2. We pick a spot with the crowd, we grab a few drinks and we hit the floor. A shorty popped up, grabbed me by the shirt and said, "If she wants some more," and I said, and there she is, swinging my hand, singing and dancing, saying you the man. And there she was, now I got her hooked, asking about the hotel I booked in. Oh damn, I was reeling her in. She said, "All my life, boy, where you been? And I don't wanna go home, can I have a kid?" And there she is.